JSC and the president?
Thank you, Trix. I stand with what the party leaders say. My party leaders say everybody should be heard.
Yes.
They have to be heard even in that circumstances. Before I joined Parliament, I was heading several departments. You could have several sections in your department recommending promotion of individuals. In their own merit of supervising them, they can say so-and-so is qualified to be promoted to this level.
Yeah.
That is professional. And as a head of the department, you have your say as well.
Yes.
This is where the president finds himself.
Yeah, but then the argument is whether or not he has the power to actually have a say to the point of not appointing those 6.
Well, he has the power of appointing, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's why we are here to debate why he has not appointed.
Yes.
But in that appointment, if I feel that I have some information that may deter me from appointing you or promoting you,
yes,
I should call you and tell you. This is where the problem is. What is it that you have against me? That's why Judge Odunga is coming on to say he should come and tell the people first who are affected, before you even can tell to the public, because these are the immediate people. You don't promote me and all this, you ruin my career.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, JSC should also, this is why I prefer performance contracting on a periodic basis, so that you know how your people are performing. You don't just come one day when I'm up for promotion and say, you didn't do this. So their supervisor, immediate supervisor, which JSC, should also have that kind of evaluation.
Right.
So as it is now, by law, it is clear. The president should tell us first, tell the people who is yet to promote why. If he has no adequate reason, then he has no obligation to object them. He has to.
Absolutely.
So I stand with the statement made by Raila Odinga. You know, you don't really point the presidency, but what is it?
Yes.
We don't know. Even the victims have a right to know why.
Absolutely. Honorable Gakuya, what do you make of this?
First and foremost, Trix, let us go to the background of those appointments of those judges, the total number. Now, because the total number was something to do with the 41.
Yes.
And now it's only unfortunate that we have lost one through a tragic road accident. I would first and foremost say that the president was very slow in taking action that he's given, the powers given by him by the Constitution, because the Constitution has mandated him to make the final determination of that process of appointment of those judges. And taking into consideration that actually we had a lot of deficit in numbers in our judiciary, it has taken him too long. And even to a point where we suspected that probably he was part of making Malaga not to work.
Right.
It is so questionable that he softened his heart when the new Chief Justice came in. This leaves a lot of questions behind, that why not during the initiator of that process. At this particular point in time, I would say, considering the last ruling of BBI, where Oko and this other fellow were part of, I am also seeing some element of witch hunt in there, missing in the list of appointment. Because Trix, we need to take ourselves back to the panel of appointment.
Right.
In case there was any queries of these judges, the 6th number, any written memorandum or any kind of memorandum could have been presented at that particular point in time, and therefore it was the duty of that panel not to list them in this particular list of 41. And therefore, at the point we are in, when the president now making a separation of 6th number only, with no full, clear evidence on what exactly it is tainting the image of these judges, and telling us we are dealing with rogues in our judiciary. And this is very wrong, because that is a very bad statement or message coming from the head of state. Because what does he mean? It means they are questionable even in the current position they are holding.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Honorable Karasinga.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and I agree with Mheshimiwa. Though I'm the youngest member of parliament,
Yes.
sharing a table with my seniors, I agree in totality that even now we want the marking scheme that was used to put them in the category of the corrupt, so that they are missed on the list. We want that marking system to be produced, so that even now in the current position they are, it's still questionable.
Yeah.
Now let the president now give authority and allow them sacked. Because if they can't be moved because of the ill, then where they are still wrong.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, there's this argument that perhaps the misgivings the president has does not get to a point of something that can be prosecuted against, and therefore it's a matter of just choice. Do you agree, Honorable Owina?
It could be, especially when we are dealing with things we have not been told.
Told, yes, yes.
You see, that is the problem. And I want to urge the president, you know, when you leave things to go too long, they attract speculations. And now people are trying to say this witch hunting, getting back because of the BBI, the deductions. So let's bring this matter to a close, Mr. President. If there's anything that is really strong against these individuals, I agree with my colleagues. They should be dismissed.
Yes, and as you're pointing out, what the time period is not advisable, it's not good. Do you think then the president is being ill-advised by, he has the advice of the Attorney General, just for starters? I mean, what is not happening? Because if he's not acting, do you think he's getting the wrong advice or not taking advice? What could be happening?
Whatever it is, what I want to see is that these guys are vindicated in one way or the other.
Yes.
If it is true that the information that Denise provided is correct, then they have no reason to remain in the service. If it is that heavy that it cannot warrant you promotion, then it should be let go.
Right.
If it is not, then the president have no choice but to appoint them. And that is very clear.
Yes.
And up to the time they were interviewed, we want to be told their records.
Yes.
Because up to the time they were interviewed, what were the statuses? Because the report has taken too long from the time they were interviewed up to the time of appointment. Could it have been that after they were appointed, the list was kept under fridge and then told, go and look around, shop around the wrong things about these ones and these ones, because we are either paying back, we want them out of the list, and then maybe some stories. So we want to be told the information the president got and used not to name the 6. When did it come?
Absolutely.
If it come, because when you're filing a case in court, we have a time frame. The time you file and finish, when the case proceeds, you can't add more witnesses.
Right.
So I believe that the president got some truth. If he got the truth after the whole interview, then can we be told what was the criteria used to look for only few issues about this? And then can we use them after that to dismiss them?
Right.
That's my kind request to my good president.
Absolutely, and of course this is something that we shall be keeping an eye on, because it seems to be having a new twist every other day. But of course all eyes shall be on the president, the current CJ, the former CJs that have been very vocal about it, and hopefully there shall be some clarity on the matter. But far from that, let's go to the coast, where we're told Shabal complicates Joho's succession plan. We do know that Shabal had been Suleiman Shabal, that is the chairman of the Gulf Group of Companies. He was a former competitor of current governor for Mombasa, Hassan Ali Joho, but of course lost to him. Now that he is winding up his second term, he has stepped up, moved from Jubilee and now to ODM, and it is expected that he is going to be running. What do you make of this move and his prospects at the coast? I'll start with you, Honorable Gakuye.
What I can say, in politics, one has to make decisions in the right time.
Yeah.
And what matters is reading the signs of the time. Having been Shabo having been tried to capture this coast gubernatorial position twice and failed, probably he has now realized that, in fact, now that the shoe is now open for anybody, because now Joho constitutionally is locked out out of the list, then he feels he can be comfortably winning the coast voters on a branded party of his choice, and probably he has made his own assessment and has realized that ODM still is a factor in the region. And probably that is what is clicking to his mind, that I may cling here in Jubilee, when the Jubilee seems to be dwindling and dying politically, and fail to capture this particular position, and the time is ripe for me. And therefore, I'll allow any other fresh bid to come in and have an opportunity. And therefore, I would say those are good political arithmetics this particular Shabir is taking. And a wise politician is how it works. I'm considering that in that particular coast region, it's a cosmopolitan region, where he needs to win the locals and those who come from the other outside region, and therefore he must put himself in a shoes that he will be able to work with. And I am sure party is a factor.
Absolutely.
And therefore, when he's taking a decision of closing to that end, I am saying it is all important for a politician to think twice before making a decision. Therefore, it's not wrong-timed.
Yes.
It is good time for him.
Yes, it is well-timed. But of course, that is now pitting him against Abdul Samad, who is, we do know he's a friend of, a political ally of Joho.
Let them meet. Let them meet in what we call party nomination.
Yes.
Let the best candidate win from that.
Yeah, Honorable Win, what do you make of that?
Wisdom is always sweet. You don't have to stay in a sinking ship of Jubilee.
Okay.
You know, and that shows that ODM is still supreme it's a party of choice when it comes to in coastal region. But I think it's a healthy, politics is healthy competition. I think it's not a threat to Joe and his friends, Kingi, who is the deputy, and also Nasir, who is a good friend. Let's have that competition. And this Suleiman is a astute politician.
Yes, he is.
Would love to have him in the rim, especially when Joho departs. But let them compete it out.
Yes.
The good thing is that this is now ODM. Jubilee is dead according to the so we celebrate. So he read the signs of times well, and welcome to ODM, Suleiman.
Okay, Honorable.
Thank you. This one, according to me, is that a good person looks at opportunity and its time.
Yes.
Maybe he has seen the opportunity now, one, because it's going to be empty soon, vacant position. And two, he must have worked on the chemistry of the ground to see which party he jumps to. I have no problem, as my brother Kakuya, my older brother, says. We have a problem in Jubilee as a party. We can't say this. You see, and the problem in Jubilee Party does not come from itself. You know very well that the problem that we have in Jubilee now, and is almost everywhere. You remember before I ran on Fort Kenya in Kabuchai, I was a Jubilee candidate for parliamentary in Kabuchai constituency in 2017.
Yes.
The party was intact, was very strong. We could move around, we could unite and have parliamentary meetings, group meetings. We could talk and see what to do. But at the moment, we had a non-dissociable handshake. Even if I can come to church with my wife, and you hug my wife for too long, I will tell you stop. So the handshake between His Excellency and my brother, Raila Amolo Odinga, the handshake has taken too long. And remember, when you hold my hand for too long, and the hand of the president is so sweet, everybody want to shake that hand. So if you handle it throughout the 5 years, we have those who are now complaining. This hand is supposed to be ours. You can see now, we have, as a president, as a party leader, and the party of Jubilee has had no parliamentary internal meetings. So we have so many, when you don't have even meetings with your own family,
Right.
your own boys and girls, they will reach a place and rebel against you. So as he said that, the Mheshimiwa Shabal must have been right in thinking that where I am, the house is taking part. Every brick is going its road. So I believe he's right. But again, I also want to wonder if he really did his good research to join ODM. If he did his research, then he has to redo it.
Why?
I think ODM's capacity in cost is dwindling. It's also coming
really?
down. The handshake has not spared either ODM or Jubilee. Yes.
Honorable Wino, do you agree?
Respond. When you make what we call unqualified statement,
Okay.
unresearched statement. But I'm so happy because it was timing when handshake was taking place.
Yeah.
And he knows the minutes and perhaps the days.
How long?
But what is here is that we want Kenyans to be free to choose where they can do better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and be proved when the results are. You cannot really forecast that they have chosen a wrong thing and before you see what it is. But right now, it is ODM, the party to beat.
Okay.
And now we can always say it's a lone horse. We are waiting for other horses to put up together and join the race.
Okay. Very, very, I know not very good sentiments for Jubilee Party, but of course, let's just move on to other matters that are making headlines this morning. And we have an article on page 8 of the Standard that I'd like us to focus on. We're told counties threaten to shut down over delayed release of 102 billion shillings. This is not the first time we're having this, and now we're being told Wambora accused the National Treasury of violation of the law over delays to disperse the funds before the end of the 2022-2021 financial year. It is with dismay that we report that the Treasury is yet to disperse the resources to county governments amounting to 102.6 billion shillings 2 weeks to the end of the financial year. Of course, this is pretty unfortunate. Honorable Gakuya, why do we keep hearing this, and what do you make of the inability to keep up with county funds and needs?
First and foremost, let us agree that the Constitution is very clear about how the national government should disseminate or distribute these particular funds.
Yeah.
Before making any step of dispersing any single disbursement elsewhere, they must deal with the county. That is how the Constitution envisages.
Yes.
And therefore, unless there are issues between the Treasury and some county, if we are talking of the wholesome number of 47 counties in staff, then this is a very serious matter. Because there before we knew that actually the Treasury have issues to do with what we call absorption in the counties, and also number 2 areas to do with the pending bills. And actually there was a circular which was made by the Treasury to all this 47 number to make sure that by end of this particular June, they have done away with the pending bills.
Yes.
But how do they clear the pending bills if you still hold their dues? How do they clear their pending bills? And therefore, the big question here is, who is fooling the other? And at this particular point, I would say, if the national government really owns the counties this magnitude of money, we have dealt with the financial year. We have already joined the new financial year. While at what point in time would you still keep these counties staffing? And considering that, in fact, yesterday I was listening Wambora when he was making this statement, and he was very categorical that they are staffed even in the areas of what we call medicines. They have no medicines, and this is the time when they consider the winter, and the winter time is when this COVID moves very fast, and therefore it is like to meet them, find them and prepared. My only single urge or persuade is the Treasury. If Treasury you have money in stock, kindly release money to the counties so that the counties can do their jobs. Because, well, it's very clear that we need to be seen also complying with our constitution. And when we keep money for the county government, and most of them are the ones maybe who are not able even to correct enough in their domestic corrections, then we are telling us, can we watch the counties closing their doors? Where are we expecting those Kenyans to go in terms of areas of health areas? Because one, we have devolved issues to do with health matters.
Yes.
And then we tie the release of the money, then where do you expect Wanjiku to be? Let us not staff Wanjiku, because staffing the counties, we are directly staffing Wanjiku.
Indeed.
Let the treasury be seen doing what is right for them, as they normally do when there are crises elsewhere. This is a big crisis, and kindly let us see this crisis off.
Okay. Honorable Winner.
It's a very sad affair, because look at it this way. From July 2020 to date, 8 days to go for this financial year to shut down. The common man have been denied 102 billion. That is the money that circulates within the rural community.
Right.
And remember, 75% of population of this country resides in the rural community.
Indeed.
And only 15% was asked for the counties. And that has not been done. That means the National Treasury still holds 85% to disburse to projects, and also, sadly enough, to be very faithful in paying their foreign debt, which is now stands at 60 or 66%. So who is more important? And this is why we go crazy when they are still asking for ceiling to be extended. They keep on borrowing. Now, if you can pay your foreign debt and somebody in a kiosk cannot get money from a contractor who has not been paid, you see the ripple effect of this. So we are killing our own people. I worked in the counties. I know what it is, especially when I was heading the Treasury. I know what it is to keep on chasing Treasury to disperse money. It's painful. Salaries are not paid. The workers are threatened. Health devolves, water devolves, agriculture devolves, all these things devolves. And we said, if you devolve a function, the funds must follow that function. Otherwise, you are doing nothing for the country. It's a fiduciary responsibility for the Treasury, not only to act now, but to act on time, so that counties are not suffocated. So I agree with the Council of Governors. They should be up in arms, but that should not be the motivating, moving factor for the Treasury to act. They should do what they are supposed to do on time.
Yes, on time. It's pretty important what's happening. Some reports have also indicated that they are even local governments are turning to banks for loans so that they can actually meet their expenditure needs. What do you make of this story?
Thank you. And again, you know, devolution is a vehicle. Development in devolution is the body, and finance are the wheels that make this vehicle run. So if you don't lubricate the wheels, or if you remove the wheels from the vehicle, then devolution will come down. I have a question to myself. That now that we have only a few weeks to close in the financial year, and you know the procedure of procurement, how even if you release that money today, you are already giving these counties a problem how to procure. Because the moment the financial year ends, this money has a question mark from the source. This money, where did it go? If I don't want you to buy a dress, my sister, I will tell you, I want you to buy a dress in the next 10 minutes in Dubai, and I give you money now. You see, if you don't buy, bring me back the money. That is one way. Exactly. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is this. Are we sure that if 1 or 2 billion, which is just part of the 15% we were supposed to take to counties, we can't manage, and then we are talking of even more funds to counties? I have a problem here. I have a problem that we have a problem in in priority. We look at the other devolved, it's not only that one, we have another serious developed unit which is called the CDF. Members of Parliament, as we sit now, out of the 137 million, we have only received 80. The financial year has ended. What do you expect of the rest? Over 60 million shillings. We have a problem with this. If the country cannot afford, if the Treasury cannot afford for this fund coming down. It comes out clear. It also comes back on the priorities of what we are doing in this country.
Right.
If we can manage to have projects that cannot give back, if we can borrow from the international class, we borrow money, bring to the country, but that money is not placed in a function that can give returns, maximum returns, to pay back that debt, that's where we get the problem. And I'm very much sure that we can move, we can give pressure, but if the government has a wrong priority, it ends there. I sometimes question myself. I'm sorry to have questioned this time, but I'm only 2 months old. I sometimes ask myself a question, was it actually wise for us to move for the SGR? You look at SGR, where it has come from, up to where it's ending, how much it has taken us, and again we want to see that this SGR pays back. We are bringing in constrictions at the cost. We want to say that now all goods must come through rail. How many youths have lost jobs on trucks? How many people relied on the way, the transport system in the coast?
Yeah.
We have killed it. We want it to come by rail. Who are we benefiting if we bring it on rail? Those are things that when a country makes priority, we have to see. Look at the previous budget we have made. How much are we going to get from ourselves? When you want to have the better life in this country or in yourself or as a nation,
yes,
here is what you can achieve. But here is where you desire. You don't increase your achievement to the level of your desires, but you lower your desires to the level of your achievements. Let's choose a budget that we are able to accommodate.
Okay. Don't you think it's a little too late, given
Yes,
how much we've been borrowing?
It is too late. But where it is, if we control it from where it is,
yes,
working backward, we can get it.
Yeah. They say when you find yourself in a hole, the first thing you need to do is
to come out of the hole.
Stop digging.
Stop digging the hole.
Yes.
That exactly.
But Rex, I can tell you, I've been always telling you, what matters is the goodwill. If the goodwill is there, things will move. But when the goodwill is overturned, then you can't move forward. And the matter that you have seen us taking circles of the judiciary is not a good example. And that is a negative, a negative route. We need to move forward, and visionary leaders are people who takes the country from the position they took it forward. But don't leave the country in a staggering situation. Yes, leave the country on a level that even your successor will just put the button and go for Kibaki left this country on a very, very moderate stage, where any other pilot could take off and move. But now you can't come in and know where to start.